Today we will be learning about different functions and parts of the human brain. Here is a chart with the color-coded labels to each of the main parts of the brain that we will be reviewing today. First is the frontal lobe. Fun fact, the frontal lobe is the largest lobe of the brain. The frontal lobe has many functions including planning, problem solving, motivation, judgment, decision-making, impulsive control, social behavior, personality, memory, learning, reward, and attention. The frontal lobe controls more than just your thinking process. The frontal lobe also controls a few motor functions like skeletal muscle movement, ocular movement, speech control, and facial expressions. Number 2. This part of the brain controls your senses, but just certain senses, mainly touch, and remembering how something felt the first time you touched it. If it was really hot, your brain will remember not to touch something like that again because you burned yourself, or will make you realize that you need to check the temperature of it before touching it again to prevent burns and physical pain. This part of the brain also controls some of your visual and auditory senses. This part of the brain controls your vision for the most part, processing your visual stimuli, analyzing, recognizing, memory of visual stimuli in association with shapes, colors, and sizes. So trying to remember what a person looks like, or trying to remember the color of the sticky note you put on your desk a few minutes ago. Number 4, the temporal lobe. The temporal lobe is in association with your auditory senses. For example, hearing sounds, different pitches and frequencies, and remembering certain sounds associated with objects. For example, when teaching a child that dogs bark and cats make the sound of a meow and cows make the sound of moo. These are different recognitions for memory of auditory. Number 5, the cerebellum. The functions include balance, coordination, and fine muscle control. This part of the brain also controls your balance and equilibrium. For example, being able to stand up straight. In a lot of cases, when concussions occur, the cerebellum is severely affected, causing people to not be able to stand up straight on one foot or be able to hold balance with their eyes closed. This is why when concussion testing is taken and made available, this is one of the first things they check other than pupil dilation and check for nausea and dizziness. Number 6, brainstem. The functions of this part of the brain include breathing, blood pressure, heartbeat, and swallowing. Now let's put all those parts together and see how it forms the brain. As you can see, the frontal lobe is obviously near the front of your brain. Temporal lobe is located underneath. Brainstem occurring at the bottom and working its way up with blood with blood vessels continuing throughout the entire brain. Cerebellum is connected right behind the brainstem, and the two parts of your brain that control your vision and language sensation, along with other parts, are located towards the back top of the brain. Today's fun fact is brain information travels up to an impressive 268 miles per hour. When a neuron is stimulated, it generates an electrical impulse that travels from cell to cell. A disruption in this regular processing can cause an epileptic seizure.